Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the Neveready Podcast. My name is Christian Navarrete. I am the host of the show. And why is it called Neveready, besides it being a play off of my name? Well, as I've gotten older, I've realized that nothing amazing is ever truly ready until it's out there for the world to see. Whether you're working on a script, a painting, some song, you can always add another word, you can add another track, you can add another tube of paint. You could keep going forever, but it's never ever completed until it's out there. So this is what the show is for. It's for those people that are deep in the work in progress. They're deep in trying to finish something, accomplish it, but actually get it out there. And so I'm happy to report I've got our first episode. Now, Dan Bringhurst will be my first episode. I hope you're patient. The first 2 minutes aren't amazing. The audio wasn't on. Everything's a work in progress, but I'm very happy for you to all see what we've accomplished. So sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you so much.
Never ready, light it up. Let it breathe, let it show. Art is never really ready if you never let it go. Christian Navarrete to bring new stars in view. The names you don't know yet,
but soon enough you will. It's the Neveready Podcast.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. This is from our failed Diddy party. Sorry about that.
Everything's sticky.
Yeah. Whew. All right, everybody. Well, welcome. My name is Christian Navarrete, and this is the Neveready Podcast. Today, I've got with me Dan Bringhurst, filmmaker, podcaster, all around just a guy. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm really excited to have you here today.
Is this your first podcast?
This is my very first one. It is the first one. Okay. You're my neighbor. You live only a few blocks away, and you honestly are sort of like the first guy I think about when I'm doing anything like film-wise.
Well, thank you, man.
Whether or not I call you is a different story.
I think I've fallen off a little bit since the heyday of 10 years ago, but right. I still love contributing to like the guerrilla stuff and all that. So.
I love it. No, I love it whenever you do. When I see you at the film festivals, the Desertscape Film Festival, or even in that area, it just makes me think back to you being more involved with the filmmaking community. And it just makes me wish that you were still doing more things. But I know you've been really busy. More things as far as in the films. Movies. Yeah, but you've been really busy. I mean, you have, is it the Dan Bringhurst Podcast is the name of your YouTube channel, or is it just the Dan Bringhurst YouTube channel?
No, I have a YouTube channel called The Bringhurst.
The Bringhurst.
Yeah, it's largely gaming focused, VR and flat screen, and but occasionally I go, like I'm working on an episode coming up that's a focus on my disconnection from online. Just I want to talk about some new tech, and so I break away now and again and do other stuff.
So what I was noticing was on your Bringhurst podcast, you have over 6,000 followers.
Yeah.
You have over 300 videos already.
Do I?
Yeah, you have like 306.
Oh, I might.
I mean, you make them. I doubt that you're really paying that much attention if you're churning them out. It seems you've picked up the slack about 3 years ago, because it looks like you started the channel about 5 years ago.
I started around 20. I started during COVID, and I didn't really take it seriously. I just wanted to post some stuff that I was doing with VR. Then at some point I took it seriously. I realized if I really hurried and worked at it, I could break that 1,000, which gets me monetization with YouTube. And yeah, now I'm really trying.
Yeah. No,
I also burned myself out. I was doing one video every day for the last 2 months. Like I was doing a daily thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm burned out. And so it's going to be like every 3 or 4 days moving forward, I think.
Okay. That's good. It's good to pace yourself.
Yeah.
I definitely get the burning out thing, especially when you like hit it with everything you've got for like a really long time.
Yeah.
And editing, I don't know, is editing one of your favorite parts or probably your least favorite part of the process, or is
it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm not talking about YouTube and I'm talking about filmmaking, my favorite part is script writing.
Okay.
I like the idea of a script, and in my head, it's hilarious and it's perfect, and I can't wait to make it. And then the second I start getting people together and trying to collect props and locations, and everything gets heavy, and the reality of organizing and working through it. I love the process. I love working with people. I love making funny stuff. But in the end, I would rather just write and then have someone make it and then see how well did I write this script.
You're right.
To where it was clear enough that some stranger can make it.
Yeah.
And it ends up the way I had in my head.
That's amazing.
I think if you write a script the right way, I mean, you could do that. But
no, I agree 100%. In fact, I dream about doing every once in a while. Love to do some sort of like cold read where people would write a script as best they can, and we'd cold read it. And it's basically for people to see if they were able to write a script the way that they intended it to be presented. I think that would be a fun thing to participate in later. But yeah, I agree with that, because it is. We're getting to this point where we're taking this art, and we're like, but we have such pride in it that we want to be able to evoke everything in our writing, so people can get it. Like, yeah, there it is.
And I like editing. I mean, once I'm actually sitting down and flying through it, and I think it's rewarding. Yeah. Mainly because you watch a lot of people make content, and especially some of the newer people doing guerrilla. I think. Which I'm happy to see as many people jump in. I love seeing new people show up, and I don't know everything. I'm still, I need to improve on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But there comes a point where you realize that editing is so important. You got to kill that dead air. You got to get the audio perfect. And a lot of people, they'll just let it breathe, and it'll leave the theater silent for like 20 seconds on end. And you think you want to go up to them and say, listen, I'm so glad you're here, but you got to cut that out. You got to fix this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe you don't say that to people. Maybe they got to find it on themselves.
I guess some people, I always try to figure out a more tactful way to say something like that. But I think there's people that can just be like, you know what, I've learned through the years of doing these film festivals, maybe not so much this dead space. Yeah. And you could cut that out and tell more story.
Well, there's someone I've worked with for years. I'm not going to use pronouns or anything. It's just I'm just because I'm not giving any hints.
Okay.
This person is very involved, and a lot of good ideas, and I love the energy, but the same kind of limitations I'm talking about with editing and sound quality. 5 years, it hasn't really gotten a whole lot better, and I've said several times, like, you're so like you got the right stuff, but let's clean it up. Let's give it to me. Let me edit it. Like, let me do it. And it's like, you just don't understand my mind. Like, and so there's no breaking through. I'm just glad that they're still
participating. Yeah. Hey, we have our art, right? And
yeah,
that's funny. Let me take a step back for just a quick moment. I always like to talk about this when I actually talk about you. The first time I remember you, Dan Bringhurst, I was sitting in my parents' restaurant, Ernesto's Mexican restaurant in the Phoenix Plaza.
Yeah.
And then you walked in and you were working on some sort of coupon card.
Yeah.
Discount card.
Yeah. I remember.
Do you remember what it was called?
Yeah, that was called.
What was that?
I had two businesses that I actually launched. I'm thinking I had a business where I would deliver groceries to people before DoorDash was a thing. That was called My Delivery. And I built a website, and I was doing okay. I didn't hire anyone. I was doing it on my own when I wasn't working. What you're talking about is it was competing with the Dixie Direct.
Right. What was that one called?
I don't remember.
Was it just like the starving? No, it wasn't starving student card. Because that one exists as well.
That was like 2013.
Is that when it was?
That was like almost 15 years ago. I still have some cards somewhere in like the attic. Yeah.
So there I am sitting down, and you walk in, and you're basically, what is it? You're making a coupon book for all the restaurants in the area, or the restaurants that you go to, or the ones that'll participate. Yeah. And you're wanting to, basically it's like a card that people bring in, and what is it? They get like a stamp, or...
There were no stamps.
What was that?
That was the thing. So Dixie Direct has like a thing that they clip or stamp so that you can only use it so many times in a month. I haven't used it forever, but it was just a thing where present this card, and because you have it, you got like either like a free tater tot from Del Taco, or you got like 5% off this restaurant. And it was just a constant thing to try to drive traffic, to these places. And
you think it was 2013?
Something like that.
I'm only
It might have been earlier, because I remember my delivery was 2009.
Okay.
And I can't remember which came first. So it could have been earlier. It could be almost 20 years ago.
I really do think it was earlier. I've been thinking about this for many years, just because my timeline, I mean, we're getting to the age where, the other day is actually 20 years ago sometimes,
Dude, Batman Begins came out over 20 years ago. And that feels like a modern movie still. I don't know.
Oh, that.
But yeah, so it might well have been longer. But the problem is I was like Joseph Smith out there. I was just like hustling, dude. I was just like, I had 100 ideas, and I just wanted to kind of, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, whatever that was. I didn't do any homework, didn't go to school for it.
Right.
I didn't have any money, but I knew I wanted to do something. So I kept like starting these businesses to where it was like a one-man thing. It was just me. Whether it was organizing those cards or doing delivery services, and all of them, like I had no idea what I was doing. It was, if I would still been doing it today, there'd be like tax fraud or something, like, because I just wasn't doing any of the back end homework to like maintain a proper business,
Right.
So
right. No, I get that.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. I've seen that you've always been a person that just does, and you wouldn't. I mean, could you blame me for saying maybe sometimes unconventional things, and making something out of it? Like, for instance, I actually made a movie that you inspired, about a little doll being pulled out of a box.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it terrorized. And it was inspired because I remember that there was a time when you were also selling some dolls. And I'm sorry to bring these up. If you don't want to talk about it, it's cool. I'll be honest,
good.
These are the things I think about the most when I think about you. I'm like, wow, these are awesome things.
There was a time 20 years ago where I was into the paranormal. I was listening to a lot of Coast to Coast AM, and this was before YouTube and the Y-Files and all that. But I was convinced that all right, let me go back. I bought a Ouija board, and I was just so fascinated by it because, they say it's okay. It's just your brain and your arms are doing this thing. But I had some experiences that were like, I was getting answers that, I don't know. It was just so cool to me at the time. And I wanted to know more. And so we would go ghost hunting, and I had like infrared cameras and like these sensors and all this stuff. I was like deeply into it. And one night I was just dicking around with a Ouija board by myself in my room. And my wife was in the other room. And as I had this spirit box. It's like a radio that talks to you,
Those. Yeah.
And all of a sudden I heard like a sigh, like a, but right here. And I went like that because it scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Pardon my French. You can
As it
bleep
should.
that. And I turned everything off and I closed it up, and I never touched a Ouija board again because it freaked me out. Yeah. And I went in and immediately told my wife, I was like, this thing. And before I even opened the door, she's like, you won't believe what just happened. And she had a in her ear, and it freaked her out. And she did not know that I was on a Ouija board. Ooh. She didn't know what I was doing in the other room. Ooh. And so we had this shared thing. And I don't know. It became this this thing where I needed money at one point. I was like, let's see what I can do here. And I had this old doll that we got at the DI because I was trying to scare a friend of mine at the time. Oh. And I went to eBay. I was like, this thing. And for the purposes of, okay, listen, it probably is. They told me it was, but I listed it and I was like, this thing, man, I'm getting bad vibes over here. This is something's going on. I picked this up and ever since, like, things break around the house and it's just, I don't know, man. $200. And it sold. And then a month later, he gave me positive feedback and said, awesome. This thing's jacked up, dude. Oh, I'm telling you, everything that my house, I think I got to get rid of this thing. And so I was like, huh. And I thought of it in the sense that, you know, I don't know anything about the paranormal. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But it seems to me that if you think it's real, then that amplifies whatever you're experiencing, whether it be real or not. And so I sold another one, but this one was crazy. This one, it kept moving to the closet under the stairs, you see.
For real?
Yeah. And we'd put it in a box and lock the box at night, but then we'd hear the box rattling under the stairs at night, you see. And so with those details, I thought that the doll was haunted enough that this one's worth $300.
Right.
And then someone bought it and they left positive feedback and said, this is jacked up. And at some point I started to kind of feel bad because, you know, it's like, so I stopped and I haven't sold one since, but I had this run where I was making off like a bandit, you know, but that's the thing. If people were replying to those saying, this guy's a fraud and this isn't real and oh man, what an overpriced, but no, they were all communicative and telling me that what I was doing was like the Lord's work, you know? And so I didn't feel bad about it in that sense because they got what they came for. They wanted a story, they wanted
the experience.
And to their mind, they got it.
That's awesome.
But I'm also hesitant to talk about it because for obvious reasons, you know?
Well, I mean, if you were getting energies from it anyway.
Yeah, I'm not
but maybe you
selling shower curtain rings to ladies looking for earrings or anything, but
no, I love that though. And I always just assumed maybe you were like the haunted doll whisperer. Somehow it's like, they just knew. I mean, even you saying like you heard that, you know, both of you hearing that.
Well, see, that's the thing. We had real experiences.
Of course.
I really went ghost hunting.
Yeah.
I really believed in something that amounted to a spirit box. And I really thought that, you know, under the right circumstances, you could have, because you hear stories about people who saw this and they believe it and good, fine.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I got to see it myself before I really feel one way or another about it, but it's possible.
You're right.
And so going from that and really being a true believer to kind of leaning into it, I don't know. It was kind of an organic path.
Yeah. I figured it was. And I mean, I remember you sharing those stories for me. Like I said, it just inspired me to write those things, but I always wanted more details about that because I really was fascinated by the process of like how you went from, you know, playing with the Ouija board and then suddenly like, I'm going to buy a doll. I'm going to sell the doll. Someone bought the doll.
Well, see, that's what I was talking about with like, I'm always an entrepreneur. Like,
yeah, no,
it's like the same thing. You know?
Well, this is what in a sense is what the podcast is about. People are always busy doing something sometimes. For the most part, they're always busy working on something, but sometimes they never release it or they're just so caught up on trying to get it maybe perfect that it's like, are you ever going to show us what you've got? Well, I just don't have it the way that I think it's got to be. And I thought, and same here, I'm never going to start a podcast if I don't just like do it. And so I want to talk about everything that everyone I know has experienced in their, I guess, the process or from here, they went here, and it's a crazy ride. There is no linear thing that's like, oh, we're going to go from here to here and it's going to be a non-bumpy ride and we're going to have a great time. And I've always loved your journey. I've always loved like knowing your stories.
Well, I love your spunky attitude and how you always seem like you're in a good mood. Seems exhausting, honestly, because you always got a smile on your face, but you have to have shitty days. Definitely. But you're always so upbeat and always so happy to help and ready to go with these movies that I value your friendship, dude.
Yeah, I value yours. I love that. And I love that you walked into that restaurant so many years ago and was trying to sell me something.
You want to know how I met Sheldon?
Sheldon Demke, local celebrity Sheldon Demke.
He's probably watching this. So I have two stories. The first one was when Freddy Got Fingered came out.
Okay, that's with Tom Green?
Yeah, I snuck into the Main Street theater. And I didn't know him, but he was the manager there, which would have been like 97, probably. God, 98.
Yeah.
Maybe 2000. But he found me and he put his hand on my shoulder and told me to get the fuck out.
Really?
Yeah, he kicked me out and told me I wasn't welcome back. Yeah. And then years later, I'm doing long haul. I'm driving a tractor trailer like 2013 maybe, and I'm up in Cedar City collecting hay that I'm supposed to transport to Rancho Cucamonga. And there's this guy again, this asshole that kicked me out of the theater. I remember him 15 years earlier, and he's wearing like a cowboy hat and overalls, and he's working on a farm, and he's operating a tractor to lift and shove a forklift to shove bales of hay into my trailer. I'm like, don't I know you? He's like, something of a local celebrity.
Nice.
And then we worked together on the Nautilus. I think that was our first real introduction.
Oh, I thought you guys were friends before even then. Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe 6 months before that, I ran into him at the Electric Theater for something, but no, that was really our first.
Really?
Yeah. And then that was more, I mean, we got along great, but that was more of a professional setting. Like we were just making a movie and he was deep into it, but I don't think I really knew him well before that.
I was going to ask you, what year did you make the Nautilus? I was looking at the other day, but I didn't see a year on that.
2017.
2017. So yeah, I was watching it the other day. Might have been last night, actually.
Were you watching the new version or the old version?
I know it's just the version that I looked up on Facebook. It's the one that ends with what the hell?
Well, they all end with that.
Okay,
one
I wasn't
of them
sure.
has a puppet and one of them doesn't.
Then the one without the puppet.
Good. Okay.
Which one has the puppet?
Well, I was unhappy with the musical mix of that. Uh-huh. It wasn't a good mix. It was kind of muddy and messy and all that. And so I got everyone together, you included, and we recorded the music.
Okay.
In like 2021 or 2, I think.
Okay.
And with it, I did a re-edit. I re-edited all of the renders.
Hey guys, this is Christian Navarrete from the Neveready Podcast. I wanted to take a quick moment today to tell you about my family's restaurant, Ernesto's Mexican Restaurant. That's right, located here at 929 West Sunset Boulevard, Suite 18 at the Phoenix Plaza in Little St. George. We've been serving the St. George community for over 30 years with some of the freshest ingredients my mother, Sylvia, personally selects herself to make sure that the food is made with lots of love and tons of care. We're talking about the Nautilus.
Okay.
Talking about 2017. About, right?
Yep.
You were talking about, you said you redid the music because you were thinking it was a little muddy.
I redid the music, and then I redid the renders, the backgrounds, the green screen stuff. Using more modern software, I cleaned up the green screen splash and stuff like that. But I also added a puppet, Frederick from from the Duke.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so using green screen, I inserted him into the movie for an additional character and dancing, and I think it's good. Uh-huh. I think it's altogether better than what it was, but it's not as organic. I shared it with Tyson. He asked for a copy of it. Tyson Bang.
Nice. Okay.
And he was not thrilled that he didn't have the original because to him, and I think he's right, there's something too polished about the remake.
Okay.
And there was value in the warts and the muddy mix and just kind of our best effort at the time put to film, and it's more authentic and meaningful. And so, I
agree. I mean, I can see that point of view on it. I'll be honest. Like I said, I saw the movie yesterday, and I've always enjoyed that movie. And it's a little grainy, it's a little muddy, but it's just like it was made and with love. And the person I was watching it with, Heather, she just was like, "This is crazy. I love this. This is awesome. I love the music, but this is crazy. What's going on? But I love it." Like, she wouldn't question it, that she enjoyed it, but she's still like, "I'm not sure what's going on."
It's a confusing movie, especially around the milk, because what it was meant to be was just, I'd been watching a lot of Always Sunny, and those incestuous twins and come over and
the family or whatever.
And he's always drinking milk in a robe. I wanted to kind of give some of that, like, have you guys drink milk? It's such a weird setting. But it happened at the same time that Sheldon was going on about what's in the jars on the shelf, which isn't the milk. Right. The milk is just something that was brought in and they're drinking it. But meanwhile, in the background, there's a shelf with jars of white gooey sludge. And Tyson's playing with it.
Actually, it was myself.
Oh, you were playing with it.
I was, and at some point I flick it. And it lands on Tyson's face with the grossest sounding.
And so the problem is that we're talking about what is this stuff in the jar made of while drinks are being presented. And that stuff, the drinks, it was soda, it was root beer and cream mixed together, and it curdled the second they mixed, because we wanted something to look gross. And I told everyone, look, I'm sorry, just don't drink it. And Dan's like, fuck this. And Dan chugged the whole thing. And then he's like,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he just drank it, dude. I felt bad for him. But the point is the two of those step on each other, and it's unclear what's happening, and it was poor. It's my bad. I just didn't resolve it very cleanly. So
it was still a fabulous thing to watch. I just wanted to give a shout out really quick. So 2017, Nautilus. It's almost an homage to 30,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or am I wrong? Or
no, it's
what is it?
It's a reimagining of 30,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Reimagined, thank you. And we've got Dan Fawkes, Tyson Bang, Cragun Clayborn, Peter Gunn, Sheldon Demke, and it was funded by Ned Cordry. Cordry as part of there was the company that he was funding it through.
Yeah, I think it's dissolved.
Space Between,
now. Space Between Theater Company.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. Sorry, dissolved. But anyway, that was everybody that was in that, right? I didn't miss anyone.
No, we're missing two people. We had Kevin Jones was in it briefly.
Oh, he
as
was. You're right.
Pirate guy or whatever.
Yes.
And we had Tom Demke, who was the shoveler during the dance scenes in his underwear.
For some reason, I thought it was you, but yes, you're right. Now I can see that it was Sheldon's brother, Tom Demke. Okay.
Yeah, that was it. That was everyone, though.
And you wrote all the music for this.
Yeah.
You green screened and designed basically the ship that we were on. Right, the interiors of everything.
Yeah.
It was all like 3D.
Yeah,
animated.
we built it with Strata 3D.
Strata 3D. So I just want to mention all the cool tools that you'd used because I don't remember them all, and I was fascinated. Just thought it was so great. It had that cartoonish, almost like I'm in a Muppet movie sort of thing.
Yeah, we had Mike Wilson also actually, but he was.
That's right.
He was the kind of he did the construction for actually building this curved backdrop for green screen, but it was big and heavy, made of plywood and like 50 sheets of really green paper, which caused problems because it was so green and so illuminating that it created a lot of splash. So despite the best chroma keying I could do, there's still like some imperfection along the arms and stuff and in the hair.
But it was, it was a project that from start to, as far as start, the idea till suddenly we're standing in your garage, or whose garage were we standing in?
Good point. That was Justin Williams. He had a house out near Bloomington Hills by the airport, kind of.
So we're standing in Justin Williams' garage, and you've got that green screen set up. You've got
and I'm drinking beer the whole time.
You got the ship. What's it? The little the turning thing. What's that called? The mast? No,
not the mast.
The wheel, the steering wheel.
It's called something else, but we'll call it the wheel for now. But a big guided thing, which was expensive. It was like $500, I think.
You bought this or made this, or
we bought it?
Whoa! Okay.
Yeah, we bought it, and that's in Adam's garage, I think.
Okay,
he still got it. Yeah.
I didn't know where it ended up going. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So from the idea of like, I'm going to do this, to suddenly we're in Justin Williams? Yeah. Justin Williams' garage. What was that time like? What was the time that took you thinking it to like, here we are standing, we've got everybody set?
I wrote the concept, which essentially, for those who haven't seen it, is just, I was actually reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
It's 20.
At the time. Yeah, not 30, not 40, 20. I was reading it, and I was thinking, how funny would this be if instead of what this is, if it was just he was a pervert in drag, and he just kind of tried to... But you got to keep in mind, too, I grew up on The Birdcage, and I loved Rocky Horror for what it was. It's not something I even watched with my family, but I thought it was fun. But 2017 was also a long time ago. I don't think I'd make it again today, because you get a lot of baggage with it doing that kind of stuff now. But I did really... So 2017, probably January, I wrote that. By March, I had the songs with a rough draft.
Wow.
By June, they were polished and done, and I had a location, and we probably had it filmed and in the bag and screening it by October, I would think, because it was cold outside. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a little chilly.
Yeah. But like 6 months, something like that.
Wow. Okay. That was, that's actually pretty fast for what we got in the end, honestly. You work really quick.
Oh, thank you.
I think you work really quick. And again, it's such an ambitious, big thing. You came up with it. And then on top of that, you're adding to me. I had the idea that you already had this friendship with Sheldon by then. And then Sheldon showed up having his hair done
by his sister
for about 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, and then he did that again. She did that again.
She did it twice. We were trying hard not. You were really desperately trying not to film anymore, because you knew that it was painstaking, and it would be a huge inconvenience for Sheldon. But something happened where you just still had to come back another day and do the goop. Or was it the same day?
I don't remember.
I just remember being on that first day of shooting, and you were just like, "We're not," he was very adamant. "We're not going to do this again. My sister worked so hard on this," and I get. Yeah, but then I heard that you did have to do something again, or at least maybe not as elaborate.
I don't recall. I really don't.
It's been that long.
It's been that long, and it's such a. But I do know that he was always happy to be there. I don't know what. I imagine his sister had fun doing it, but I know it was a lot of work, probably. But no, I didn't really know Sheldon that well before that. So
you guys are thick as thieves now.
Yeah.
Like, you working together all the time. Most of the projects I've seen him in were things that you guys had done together or written or something. So I love that. And everything that you guys have done together is great. I do seem to forget, one of the last projects you did was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was a musical.
The Musical Producer.
Was that what it was? Yeah. I've got to pull that up again sometime. I think any of these things that I'm mentioning right now, I'm going to try really hard to put onto our socials to tag you in them, because there's some really good stuff there. But what was it? The Musical Producer? I was very impressed by that. That is one of the last things I've seen you guys do. And it was one of the funniest dang things I've ever seen at the film festival. It was a musical. There haven't been a lot of musicals.
The songs for it were written like 5 years earlier. And even the audio, Sheldon's voice, that was recorded years earlier. Okay. And we had been sitting on it, because the idea for that film was a feature-length film comprised as an anthology, to where it's presented to the viewer as a psycho who kidnaps a film producer to force him to watch his short films and sign a document, and then he'll become famous, you know? And so that was the idea for that at the time, but it never took off. It was too much work.
Oh my God.
And so we just repurposed those songs and that brief concept into that short film.
My God, it's so good. I'm surprised that, I don't know if you've taken this, you should, I don't know, it just feels like a spec script thing. Sort of like, here's a presentation of what could be. It could be so much bigger because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's only 5 minutes long? Or like 6?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
5 or 6 is great.
I would love that, man. Like I said, writing scripts is fun. I'd rather do that and then say, look at this concept, someone give me a lot of money or something. But the thing is, you know, the most you can do is submit to a film festival your screenplay. But the truth is that I love writing. I love the ideas, but I'm not, if you're going to submit a screenplay, it has to be formatted the right way. Like there are a million things that have to be right for you to get any recognition at all. Right. And so you could have a beautiful idea, but if it's written like it's a turd, then you lose and you get nothing for it. And so I'm not skilled in that. I'm skilled in, I mean, for my little self, I think I'm skilled in ideas. And so if you want something like that where something takes off, it's more about knowing people than submitting to festivals. I've dumped so much money into festivals between the Nautilus and Jesterpus, and I'm talking thousands over the course of years, and nothing comes of it, which probably speaks to like my skills as a filmmaker. No, but it also means that some of the stuff is so niche that, and I think it happens all the time in Hollywood, probably, where something takes off. Maybe someone would like Jesterpus and say, this is really good, but this film work, the camera, where's your lighting? Why is this audio so bad? And they'd say, look, I love this nugget of a concept. We need to refilm this, though. Here's $6 million. Go do it. Like, that would be great. Right. I would love to work with Sheldon with like real equipment and all that stuff. But, you know, you got to have that. You got to know somebody to even get that rolling. And I think it's an uphill battle. So
we didn't. Yeah. And sadly, I mean, there were so many other things I talked about. And a lot of the things I wanted to touch on were about Jesterpus today. but there's so much history. That's the greatest and worst part of what I'm doing today was trying to get to the Jesterpus, then talking about, you know, how I knew you, because God, I wanted to start there. But if you have a quick moment on 2020, is that when you started Jesterpus?
Yeah.
Full-length feature.
I have the Facebook post. I made a post that it was just this waxing idea. How fun would it be to make a movie about the cops go into a house. There's a welfare check, and they walk in, and the walls are covered in blood and handprints, and the family is like brutally just, there's pieces everywhere. It's horrible. He vomits into like the carpet. Like they can't believe what they're seeing. And they, after taking fingerprints and everything, they say, my God, there were 9 people here, 9 murderers. Look at all these fingerprints. And then we cut to like what this really was, which was a demented clown with arms coming out of his back. And he's got like 10 arms and hands. And as he's like rummaging through the house, his hands just clumsily touch lamps and stuff. And so they're deeply confused by this. And so it was meant to be like this funny thing where, I mean, it's horrible. He's a psycho. Right. But like, it just adds to confusion because of all his hands touching stuff. And that was the whole concept. And from there, Holly Stark suggested, oh, call him Jesterpus. And I said, that's brilliant.
Stark, yeah.
And I got to writing music. And so that's where it started. But the whole thing is it's held together with duct tape and tree sap and dead lizards. Like, it's like I'm in the woods with nothing but like my hands just trying to build a fort as the rain's coming in. And like, the whole thing is like that to the point
the project itself,
the movie itself, to the point where Sheldon and I were cops, you know, Agent Fragney and Lincoln. And like in one scene, we're driving my car. Next, we're driving his. One's blue, one's an old, like, my my hair is long, then it's short. My beard is long, then it's short.
It sounds like you were having a hard time finding crew, like people, just actors, to be able to be like diverse, so that people wouldn't like mix up, or you play multiple roles, or.
We played multiple roles, but we've always done that.
Yeah.
I mean, that comes from like enjoying Kids in the
British
Hall
humor
and Monty Python and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
So we played Fragny and Lincoln. I also played an inmate in the asylum.
In the asylum.
I played the fake Merlin. I played a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Fake Merlin. Dean Jones.
Dean Jones.
That guy is amazing.
I don't think he'll ever work with me again.
Yeah, well, you know.
I respect him. I love him. He's a joy to work with. But, you know, this was a thing where we were filming on the weekends over the course of literally 3 years. You know, we'd get started. We'd get a lot done. He's brilliant. He's so talented. And then life happens. Things move fast, and 6 months go by. And I start to feel like, oh my gosh, we're only like a fourth of the way through. Maybe we should just call this a short film. And just saying that out loud is insulting to everyone who's shown up to take part in a feature film.
Right.
And so we've got this thing where life is happening and I'm struggling to get it done. And these guys are getting called out to film these 45-hour-long things every other weekend for 3 years, never knowing if it's really going to get done, because I'm not even sure if it's going to get done. And it was a party when we finished that final wrap. And then right after, I called Dean. I was like, I need some pickup lines, dude. I'm sorry, we're not done.
The short-lived celebration. But Dean Jones, you got Tyson Chanticleer, Hannah Kitty Cass, Bald Nate, Dan Fox. You had a long-time collaborator. I mean, we already mentioned, was Tyson Bang in this one too?
Tyson was not in it. Okay, so I offered him a role, but he was not in it.
Dan Fox was.
We had Dan Fox.
Mike Orge.
Yeah.
He was in there.
He was in it.
I love Mike Orge. I'm trying to remember, because it has been a while since I've seen that one, but I mean, that asylum scene.
That asylum scene was all Tyson. I mean, Dan's extremely talented.
Yeah.
He's just a killer, you know, but Tyson was the one who choreographed and put that together.
Who was the young boy?
Charlie Stover.
Oh, okay, yeah. He did a really great job.
His mom was in it too, actually. She was she was a runner. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But and he's gone on to big projects as well, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's had some stuff in I can't think of the name. I have no idea. But he's a very talented kid.
So what I like about this is, this whole project led you to get to go to the Troma? The Troma Film Festival?
Not this. That was, we submitted Whiskers in the Terrible Hole.
It was Whiskers that got
and the Nautilus.
Oh, okay.
To Troma. And they picked it up, and they invited us. They were it entered the film festival in 2019. And so we raised some money. Everyone pitched in. We were very grateful. And Sheldon and Cragun and I, we flew out to New York and we went to the festival. And as we were sitting down, one of the guys comes up and he's crying. His eyes are all glassy. He's like stuttering. He doesn't know what to say. And he says, we have to cut your films. We're out of time. We have to budget this. Oh. I'm so sorry. And I was like, I don't want to make you feel bad, dude, but what the fuck? We flew here for this. Like, what's happening right now?
What was this, New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in Little St. George, Utah. And
this was Manhattan.
Manhattan.
And he felt terrible. And so we got up and left, and we took a cab and went to a comedy club and spent the night walking Central Park. And then we got a call from them saying, after the festival was over, look, dude, we're sorry. What a shitty thing to do. Tell you what, why don't you come to Troma Studios? We'll set up a projector on the roof and we'll watch your movies there with the whole crew. And so we got to do that. And we got to kind of rummage around and look at some of the cool, sets and stuff that they have. You know, it was a good time. So,
I don't think I remember that part of the story. That's actually fantastic. I don't remember that. So that's really cool.
And because jacked us up so bad with that. Lloyd owed us a favor, and so as a result, he's got a cameo inside Jesterpus.
I was going to ask you about that. I do remember seeing there was a scene in that movie, and I saw this gentleman kind of coming, and I'm like, why does that guy look like, someone I know? But
I think he's always kind of resembled like Mel Brooks a little bit.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure.
Minus
like
the Jewish thing. Like he just looks like him, I think.
Right. And lo and behold, he makes an appearance in Jesterpus.
Yeah.
It's a CG'd in there? Or
yeah, it's green screen.
Green screen?
We reached out. We said, look, if you can't do it, we understand. But at the time, you said that you'd do us a favor. Would you mind doing this? And he said, sure, what's the script? His man said that. He has like an assistant. And the idea at the time, Jesterpus was supposed to end differently. It was supposed to end with a mad scientist played by Kaufman, and it ended up with Merlin's hand. You know how he gets cut off at the end of that film? Mm-hmm. He loses his hand, and it's supposed to fall into like a river of biohazard sludge, and it claws out and it comes alive. It was this whole thing. But the point is that Kaufman was asked to play a scientist. And if you look at the footage we have, it's very unusable because he didn't want to be there. You have this guy who says, all right, Lloyd, this is take one. And Kaufman's like, what the fuck are we doing? God damn it. Fine, we'll do this. It's like, okay, so here's the line. We've done it. I can't believe it. I've created this, like it was whatever it was. And Kaufman's like, I've done it. I can't believe it. This is so good. He's like, okay, Lloyd, we gotta, come on. And finally he's like, we've done it. I can't believe it. It's so good. And then he stops and goes, okay, you fucking got it.
Did he really say that?
Yeah. Like that was his attitude the whole time. And I felt so bad. He might have owed me a favor, but I wouldn't have pushed him for it. And if I'd known that was what this was going to be like, I wouldn't have even asked. I thought he'd be more happy to be there. But so as a result, we took the one thing, which was, and that's it. That's all we
I remember
took,
that.
and put it in there. And we called it good. Try to stop us.
Oh my God.
And
that's fantastic.
So yeah.
I love that.
But that's been submitted to Troma for consideration. I wasn't going to do it because I've got Nautilus and Whiskers on Troma. So if you're subscribed to Troma Studios, you can see those there.
Awesome.
But I get checks from them every year for like 38 cents.
Okay.
So it's not a money maker.
Right.
And thankfully, it's not locked down. If they pick up Jesterpus, it's good for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not locked in. I can continue to share it elsewhere. But if it doesn't get picked up by someone, aside from Troma in the next 6 months, I am just going to, I don't know, probably upload it to YouTube or something, because I can't upload it to Prime. I submitted Whiskers in the Terrible Hole to Prime, and I thought they would just say no, but they didn't. They banned me and told me never come back because I had uploaded pornography. But I replied, pornography? He doesn't have a dick. There's a gaping hole where his dick should be. What are you talking about? But they still said, like, no, this is. And even when we filmed that, we showed it at the Electric Theater for screening, and the girl that worked the projector, she reported us to the manager. She was like, that was the most offensive thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God. Liz Baxter.
Liz
credit.
Baxter.
I mean, she was committed and she
was in a dog kennel. Yeah.
Holy God. That was her, and Sheldon's in that one. You're in that one. I think I actually was your camera guy for a lot of your interior shots on that one.
Yeah, Jessica Staples jumped in and helped.
Jessica Staples. Was Cragun attached to that one as well?
Yeah.
Cragun Clayborn.
I designed the hole and the tube that was made with latex and toilet paper.
Oh my God.
But Cragun was instrumental in getting it to work, and he did the severed arm part. So
I love that movie. I didn't know we were going to talk about that one. I'll be honest with you.
well,
that's.
We can cut it if you want.
No, I don't want to cut any of it.
It's such a paramount thing to like the story because it affected me so much. All I ever wanted was to put Jesterpus on Amazon Prime. And now I never can because I'm banned for attempting to upload a movie that I was really proud of, but that if no one has seen it, I don't know where you would see it because it's on YouTube, but it's like this restricted, no kids type thing because of the content of the film.
It's not as hard as you'd think to find it. I mean, if you have restrictions on your
Trauma,
TV,
you would find it there.
Yeah.
But it is it's a fun movie.
If I get if I can, I'll put on there. There will definitely be like a warning label on that one. It is a great movie. There are some really amazing effects that look so realistic that I can understand why some people would take offense to it.
Yeah, no,
because
for
it's realistic. But
it's about a guy who loses his Johnson in a boating accident, and something about him snaps, and he kidnaps a woman, locks her in a dog kennel, and declares that he has to feed the gurgling hole because it's speaking to him. And if he doesn't feed it, the voices won't stop. And so he's taking like women, and like the idea in the end is she's like tied up and bound, and he's like tentacles come out of the gaping hole and like the thing and latch onto her arm. And it's drawing her arm into the hole where it's going to like munch. And in fact, there's a thing where it shows like my butt cheeks where when her arm's there, they clench and then there's a snap and a rip and she screams and then she falls back without an arm.
It's
like demented, man.
It reminds me of the B movies that I grew up watching with my dad. Like before USA, there was like those like Elvira hosted things that were just a little bit too mature, but they were black and white, so you can kind of get away with some things.
Yeah.
It just reminded me a lot about that kind of stuff. And I had a good time. I'm like, man, these visuals are horrendously awesome. Like they're so real.
Yeah.
And the sound effects that went with it. So before we finish, do you have anything that you're wanting to promote right now? Anything you're working on currently? I mean, you've got your Bringhurst channel on YouTube.
Well,
definitely
look,
subscribe to that because that's amazing. There's so many
thank you.
tips on that. Yeah. And you're hitting on so many different technological things. So,
well, we started that Terrible Neighbors movie. We made some really cool miniature effects and we filmed 10 minutes of an opening thing, but locations were a bummer. Filming was very difficult. Everyone was tired and I think it's fallen apart. What I'd like to do with that, I don't want it to die, but I'm going to film the dinner scene because that's my pride and joy. It's a very funny moment. It's very demented and weird. It's a great scene. It's a 15-minute chunk of a much larger movie, but if I can film that as a proof of concept, that's something I would feel comfortable like shopping around, you know, because then I don't have to put myself into 3 years of making a movie and burning more bridges. Mm-hmm. I can just focus for 3 months, make something really good with Sheldon, and then let it breathe, put it online, put it on YouTube, and let people see what this larger thing is I want to do and see if I get support for it.
That'd be great. So I read that scene, so it's like a really good scene. I'm interested to see.
Yeah, together, the soup and the everything about it. It's all golden. Fun. If I could promote one thing, I would just say that everyone who worked on Jesterpus, I've been shopping, I've been working hard. It's not just gone, but there has been some radio silence. So something's going to happen soon, one way or another. Good. And I make movies. I try to make a movie at least once a year, sometimes twice through Guerrilla, but I've been kind of sketchy lately.
I mean, we did work on that last thing together.
We did.
Is it My House?
Yeah.
My House, the musical. You're amazing. Thank you for asking for me to help with that.
So I enjoy doing that. I have a really good time when I do that stuff, and I don't want to stop, and I plan on keeping going. But the thing that really matters to me financially and just artistically is my YouTube channel, which is just, it's very niche. It's gaming, flat screen, VR, and I just talk about the best experiences I've ever had. And you should subscribe.
You should
if you're
subscribe.
Not, so
definitely.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us for our first Neveready podcast. My name is Christian Navarrete. We've had Dang Bringhurst with us today. Please like and subscribe. Is it the Bringhurst?
Used to be Bringhurst VR, but it was a little too nichey and locked me in. So now it's just the Bringhurst on YouTube.
So like and subscribe to the Bringhurst. Check it out. Great channel. Like and subscribe to the Neveready YouTube channel. Podcast. I'm not even sure anymore. I forget.
Yes.
I'll figure it out.
Never
All right, cool.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
Let it breathe, let it show. Art is never really ready if you never let it go. Christian Navarrete to bring new stars in view. The names you don't know yet.
But soon enough you will. It's the Neveready Podcast.